Hello, and welcome to another vidcast at deploythis.com. Vidcast podcast? I don't know, it's the first time I've said that. Is it right? Who knows? So today we're going to talk about the Problem Steps Recorder, which is quite a cool little utility that Microsoft have introduced with Windows 7. The name kind of gives it away, so without further ado, let's just take a look at it. There's two ways to access it, or probably is, knowing Microsoft, a lot more ways to access it, but these are the two that I know. We can just type in some plain English at the search window on the start menu, and up comes the record steps to produce a problem, which is the Problem Steps Recorder. So we can kick it off that way, or we can create a shortcut, psr.exe. Nothing vague about that. Etc. Okay, so there's the Problem Steps Recorder. Now, if a user's having an issue and a help desk technician or a technician of some description is struggling to understand what it is that they're telling them, or there's an issue, there's a breakdown, the technical jargon isn't there, they can't have a conversation about what's happening, and they can't remote in, they can't concurrently access the operating system, the user's environment. This is a great little utility to solve that problem, or to skirt those uncomfortable communication problems. So now the user has a tool where they can record the steps they use to get to their problem. So they can hit record. It's the only button really that they can press, which is always a good thing with users. Okay, so then they can start to go through the steps or recreate the steps that's causing them a problem. They can add a comment in if they want to. So they can say, there is an issue here, pal. Okay, so let's just say that. And then they can stop the recording. It'll ask them to output to a zip file. So they can choose where to save that and what to call it. Okay, so there's the file. They can then email this on to the particular person dealing with the problem. So that's us, and we open it at the other end, and we just get a mini HTML document, an MHTML, which kind of just means that everything's contained within that document. There's no outside resource required. Everything's just in there, nice and neat. Let's open that up and take a look. So in here we can see each of the steps that the user took, and it highlights the buttons as well, which is nice and neat. So they don't have to. There's no obscurity about what they pressed, and then they can highlight a particular area of the screen, and they can write in there their particular comment that they have. There's also a little bit of more technical information at the bottom as regards what Windows and what the particular app may have been doing at the time. You can also play this as a slideshow. The screen resolution on this VM isn't particularly good, but you get the idea. So you can kick back and watch a particularly long series of steps in the comfort of your own chair. There we go. So that's the Problem Steps Recorder. How brilliant is that? I think you can also see from this that it would be really useful if you write technical documentation. So, for example, say you've got to write a manual installation for an application to pass on to colleagues or to users or whatever, and you can use the PSR, do your installation, and you can even just attach that into the doc. Because it arranges it quite neatly and it allows them to see it as a slideshow and all that kind of cool stuff. And obviously it highlights the focused window and the button that you pressed, so you don't have to type out press this, press that. It's all got it here. And also, if you're having a particularly deep technical problem, if you're an IT person, you're having a deep technical problem with something that you're doing at your house or at your place of work, you can fire up the PSR and send that on to a colleague or a friend, and they may be able to just help you with that. I don't know if there's any IT guys listening to this or whatever, but sometimes a couple of roughly captured screenshots aren't very descriptive, and then having to type out a few paragraphs about your problem in an email. It's all a bit of a pain. So this can take some of that pain away. It's quite neat. Okay, so that's the PSR, Problem Steps Recorder. All right, thanks a lot, guys.